Ooh, man. All right, I think it's looking pretty dang good. I am very happy with how this turned out, including all of these little back sections that I thought were a little bit thin. Doesn't look as bad as I thought today in the light. There's a couple little thin spots, maybe a little in the rear footwell area there, but that might be okay. I think it's just fine back here. I think we did a pretty okay job kind of blending it in back here anyway. This area is probably going to get covered up with a fuel cell at some point anyway. Speaking of fuel cells, today's task is to figure out how this fuel system works underneath the floor here. I know that there's 3 lines here. I think 2 of them are fuel, 1 is feed, 1 is return. And there should be maybe an evap one, but there's also a hose on this side with what looks to be like maybe a sending unit for a level. I know that the fuel pump is on this side, and that's the connector for the fuel pump. And I have a bunch of lines hanging down right here. I know that, I don't know if you can see this one here, trying not to block the light. This one, I believe, is for the fuel filler neck. I think these might... I don't know where these go. I don't know where those go. There's also this. I don't know exactly where that goes either. So we're going to be figuring that out because this is going to be a lot of work. And I don't really know where to start. So I'm starting with one thing at a time. It seems like the fuel tank is going to get buried pretty quickly since I'm using the stock tank. A little bit of a budget build here. And I don't really know what the rules are for sectioning off a fuel cell from the cabin area. Obviously, I have a significant amount of cabin area and no trunk area. So we're going to be working on that. We're going to check out the stock fuel tank and see how that looks. First order of business is to put this... We're going to put this thing up on jackstands. I got 4 new jackstands because I forgot that Sheba was on jackstands. We're going to put it up in the air. Also, these are much taller jackstands. One of the issues that I ran into in the past was, even with full extension here on these jackstands, I could not get the transmission out from underneath the car when I had to swap this, which is an issue, because I think the 6-speed, I believe, is maybe the same height, maybe a little bit taller overall, has a little bit more of a belly to it. It's certainly heavier, and I don't want to be fighting that. So we're going to get this thing nice and up in the air, enough room to fit the transmission under comfortably, as well as put it on a jack to lift it up, because I can lift the 5-speed. Most people can lift the 5-speed pretty easily in a Super. We're not lifting the 6-speed. Exhaust pipes, we're going to get those out of here too. So we're going to put this thing up on stands. Stay tuned. All right, now we have her up on jack stands. Get these nice tripod type jack stands from Harbor Freight. Actually, they're a little spendy, but I like them. I like them quite a bit, actually. I think they're pretty good. They seem pretty sturdy. This is going to be my first use. We're going to give her the good old shake test. I mean, yeah, she seems pretty sturdy. Okay, one other thing that I want to add to the list is remove the rear bumper beam. I don't think I need it. It's just extra weight.
Okay, there's hoses coming out over here. What are these?
There's 3.
Oh,
That are hard pipes.
what are these wires?
Whole bundle of wires.
Well, that's entirely unhelpful.
I actually now have more questions. Found 3 hoses coming out. You can't really see anything right now. Okay, amazing. Good job, Matt. All right, I did find 3 hoses here. I don't know. And there's also a wiring harness. So there's 2 things that we can do. One of them is going to be drop the tank, which we might do anyway because I haven't dropped Subaru tank before, and this seems like a pretty easy one to do because there's nothing in the way. The other thing is check the factory service manual, which we painstakingly printed out at work one day. Which is what we're going to do first. Not helpful. Next, what do we have here? Maybe fuel injection system. Fuel delivery, return, and evaporation lines. That seems promising. That's on 68. Let's start at 49. Okay, so those 3 lines that I saw underneath the car on the captain's side were in fact fuel delivery, return, and evap lines. That fat line is the fuel filler hose, good to know, and there is an air vent hose that goes along with that, also good to know. Fuel filler pipe, this is all going to have to get installed as well. We have this. Based on this diagram here, we can see that quick connect dude here, A, is fuel delivery. Oh no. What is C is a jet pump hose. What the hell is a jet pump hose? Oh, fuel sub-level sensor. This is also another thing. Disconnect the fuel jet pump hose. So the hose on the sensor, that's just a crossover hose. Okay, cool. Fuel filter, we are not there yet. Fuel. What is a fuel cut valve? I want to know what all of this is. I want to delete the evaporation system. Okay, how do I do that? Yes, fuel injection system, that's what I'm in. Where's the evap system at? Oh, emissions control. Maybe it's part of this? Purge control solenoid valve. Well, where does that go? There's a fuel tank, fuel temperature sensor. 9. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of research and figure out the evap deletion system, and then we're going to clean all of that stuff up. Let me show you what we're working with over here. And we're going to get this bad Larry installed today too, because I really want to. This is the fuel filler neck. I want to put this thing back in. Kind of try to figure out the fuel system a little bit. Well, you get to see me crawl under a car again and probably drop a fuel tank on my head. I want to know what is going on top. Factory service manual and the online guides about doing the evap canister delete are not helpful. There's very clearly not an evap canister in the car, which means I don't need any of this spaghetti mess, and this light is just entirely unhelpful. Oh, is it 12? Come on. Come on. What is this harness? There's so much stuff. How do I get this thing out? This is just a fight. What in the heck is going on here? Gotta figure it out. Caught up on this freaking hose. Come on. Okay.
if I jam something in there? No. Why are you still stuck? There's got to be something I'm missing here. What is the deal? What is left though? Ow. Okay. That's not working.
Alright guys, this is going to be day 2. We're getting the fuel tank out today. And then we're going to put it back in today. It does involve dropping this subframe, which is okay. We're going to have to take this out anyway. I have an entire bushing kit, white line bushing kit, that'll do everything, mounting points, everything on here that I was going to use on Chiba. I never got around to it. So we're going to install all that anyway when we get to the rear portion of the car. Right now, to stay focused, because there's a lot to do, I want to stay focused on the fuel delivery system, the fuel tank itself, and cleaning that up. I want to get the fuel filler neck installed, and I want to get the tank hung back in the car. So that is today's goal. Right now, I'm going to crack free the bolts for the lateral links. We're going to remove those. I don't want to remove, I already took the wheels off. I don't want to remove everything just yet. I want to keep most things together. I want to stay focused on one area at a time. So I'll remove the lateral links. There's nothing else connected to the subframe. Then I'll drop the subframe. The tank will probably fall on my head at the same time because now there's nothing holding it up, of course. We'll go from there.
Yeah, see, that's all loosey-goosey anyway. Where did I put the 17 that I just brought down? How did I lose it? Jammed the thumb again. Because for some reason I'm just missing every single one of my half-inch drive 17 millimeter sockets. They're just gone. I don't know. So he's not doing that one. Nope. And I'm deaf. Ah! Oh, you're coming off now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's a fact. Yeah. It's what I thought. Okay. Oh, no, I'm in my own way. Oh, what are we hung up on? Careful-ing. Okay, well, this is great and all, but now I got a tank on top of me. Oh, yeah, baby. Rear subframe out.
Okay. We have the fuel tank out. This is the first time I've ever pulled a Subaru fuel tank. I know that the brake lines, the OEM brake lines, actually go across the top of here too, and that creates quite the issue. Okay, well, I definitely don't need this wiring harness. I know that for a fact. Cool.
What? I just don't understand what these guys...
Well, I went back to the manual and I'm still pretty confused, so I'm just going to start installing things. I figured out this little black box here is the shut-off valve for when you're filling the car. Seems kind of important. There's two lines that go to that, I guess. One, maybe like a, I don't know, maybe it's like a circuit. This seems to be maybe like a tank vent. Also seems important. I don't know exactly how this guy... Maybe it just does go in just like that. Like... Definitely. Okay. Okay, I want to put the tank back in now. How do I do such a thing, you may ask? I will reply with, I don't know.
Well, make sure that we have the other bolts, I guess, first. That would be important. One bright light. Where's the other one? There's one bolt. Schnikes. See? Oh, there it is. But that's why I should have just brought over my little magnetic tray to begin with. I knew that I was going to end up losing. Well, what is this connector? What the heck is it? Hang that there. That one's hanging there. Good, good, good. Okay. That's exactly the holdup. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be the one that freaks me. Oh. Snug it up just a little bit so we know it's not gonna fall out on us. This. Well, where's that hose clamp that kicked us around earlier? Here we go. Did I put my screwdriver away already? Which would be incredibly unhelpful if I did. Let there be fuel. Alright, so we have all of these lines now. Where do they go? What do they do? Well, I guess we just have this one. We have you. We have a line up here. I don't know where that goes to. Okay, let's take another look at the lead diagram, I guess, and regroup. At least we have the tank hung on the straps, which is big. I'm very pleased about that. Let's do a little bit of research and we'll come back to this in a second again.
Okay, so after quite literally dreaming about this whole setup last night, I think I have an idea of what needs to happen. This is going to be a breather line. This goes to that center portion of the top of the tank. We're going to put a filter on this. Doesn't exactly line up. We're going to be putting a breather filter on this guy, this line, which goes to the center of the tank. We have some fuel line here we're going to be using, and we're going to finish plumbing this. So we have this hard line right here. Maybe you can see it, this hard line here. That goes to the shutoff valve on the filler neck. And then we have in here I don't know if you can see in there, we have two things going on. We have this nipple, which is going to go to the vent on the top of the filler neck. We're going to need fuel line for that. And then we have this mess of hose right here that stops right there at the end of that little hose. Hopefully we are not going to have to drop the tank again, but we're going to run that to not this nipple, but the other side of the shutoff valve on the filler neck. I came to these conclusions using the factory service manual and a whole bunch of different guides and people asking online for the evap system delete with the charcoal canister delete, which usually sits right up in this area here. Gone now. And people doing GC to GD tank swaps, which helped a lot because people were pointing out the differences in the tanks, which taught me a lot about what is going on with this tank. Very helpful. So I'm going to try to set the camera up. First thing that I want to do, I think we're not going to cut the, usually people cut this hose back once they remove the charcoal canister because it's really in the way. But I mean, I'm standing in where the spare tire well used to be that was cut out for whatever reason, and that sits pretty nicely right there. I think we're gonna put the breather right on there, which means that we need to figure out that nipple and that other line. So we're gonna start at the filler neck and work our way down this way. I believe there should be a hole in the frame somewhere for those actually to pass through as well. So we're going to use that. All right, I'm going to set you up outside the car for the first one. Okay, filler neck view. We installed this yesterday. So we have 3 hoses coming down from this right here. They do correspond with what I showed you from inside the spare tire well and on the tank side. I'll go through this again for anybody that maybe is doing a body swap out there. Come on, camera. Sit nicely. There we go. Anybody that's doing a body swap or maybe building a race car, they can reference this. So this is the other side of the, you can't see my fingers. This hard line here, and maybe I can get you up in here like this too. You see that? Comes off of the shut-off valve, that little black box above the, right there, that guy. That's going to stay going to nothing. I'm going to stay out going there to nothing. That used to go to the charcoal canister from what I understand. This line that's dangling down is going to be going to that unconnected line from the T-piece that I showed you kind of jammed up behind the main filler hose. This line that's connected and dangling down going to nothing, you can see that it's going to that little overflow thing there, is going to go to that nipple that was on the tank. And we're going to feed both of those lines through that hole in the frame that I showed you from the other side. Alright, let me get this thing set up again, and we're going to start pulling line through approximately. We're going to have to unfortunately chop this line. We don't want to have to go back for more. Okay, this one needs to come off. Maybe just in half. These are not hose cutters, they are wire cutters, but they cut hose rather nicely. Oh, I got all these little hose clamps in a bag with the car. Super helpful. It's like they knew I was building a fuel system. Oh, that is certainly not going on, is it? Oh, jeez. Can I make you go on? I'm certainly going to. Well, it's certainly never coming off. I'll tell you that. I'll move these out of the way a little bit like that. Probably. There we go. Filler pipe is now connected, a little more support up here. Hopefully gonna make my life a tad bit easier. Yeah, there we go. Well, I guess we're doing one through here. Okay. We'll put one. Can I please jam you through? And that little thing is supposed to close. Okay. Nice. Well, let's go try to get under the car, I guess, now, and we'll take a look from there. All right. There are two lines. Pull this guy into where it's supposed to be. Which one is which? I already don't remember. Shoot. Dang it. Alright, the more inboard one, this guy is going to be the vent hose. So we'll take maybe like 2 inches off or so. Looks pretty good. Alright, so that'll end up going on that guy right there. That's great. I'll set that off to the side real quick. This guy should end up coming in like this, I believe. And connecting up to that T, which would actually be perfect length, but we need to get to this T. How so? Kind of just pry it where we need it. Trying to take that clamp off there. Ooh. Alright, what do I have for clamp ledge here? Come on. Can I pull this thing just out of the way for now? Or is it stuck on anything? No, we're good. There we go. Just doesn't want to go. Okay. Well, that's one there. Tuck that guy back in there. Nice. Oh, the clamp is too big. Hose has got to come off. No, you're operating smooth. Why did that? Of course, the other one had to fight me. The other one had to fight me. Put you back on again. There we go. Take this guy. You back up over here. Ow, stepped on my own hand. That's fun. That's fine. And put that guy up there. Mint. Fuel delivery system complete. Heck yeah. That makes me excited. So let's zip the tank fully back up into place real quick. Ow! I got to stab myself in the back on the car. The tank is back mounted in place. That is exciting. And I can still very easily get to the fuel lines on this side. Very nice. I do have a feeling that maybe I should have upgraded all of the fuel lines. Well, either way, the tank is hung. That's exciting. I'm coming out. Woo! Well, at least we have all of the bolts in place so far. I'm just going to throw these two nuts on the back here, just